Hey everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. Joining us as always is AMC Movie News Editor-in-Chief, John Campea.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you live from right here at the Stream.TV studios here in Hollywood, California, and we are so glad you decided to make us part of your day.
Also here, writer-director John Schnepp.
What's going on? It's a Monday! Oh.
And also here, AMC's Christian Harloff.
I'd like to be half oomphed. By Tuesday, you'll be a full What's up, guys?
With the next Fast and Furious film, Furious 7, set to hit AMC theaters on April 3, 2015, many have been wondering if this will be the last ride for the franchise, especially considering the tragic passing of Paul Walker. However, in a recent interview, Universal boss Donna Langley revealed that the ride is far from over. She said the following: "We think there's at least 3 more. I think it's still a growing franchise. We'll see what happens with Furious 7, obviously, but our box office has grown over the past 3 or 4 films, and internationally in particular. So we think that there's more to mine there. But we're, of course, very mindful about fatigue." John, does it make sense for Universal to continue with Fast and Furious?
Oh, absolutely it does. I mean, we kind of discussed it a few weeks ago. Somebody asked, do you think maybe they should stop it? And absolutely not. You don't stop this. It's going really well. This isn't a narrative finite type of story. You can do anything with these characters. You can take them in any direction you want to go. And, you know, it just makes sense. And she's absolutely right. The success is growing. The audience demand is increasing. And the quality, how often do you get to say this about any franchise? The quality is getting better and better and better and better. Now, that doesn't mean you go on forever. She's right. You got to keep your hand on the pulse. Start feeling it out. When does the fatigue start to set in? But I often say this, and a lot of people argue with me and disagree with me, and that's cool, but I still believe this. If something is going well, you don't get fatigued of it. You know, at some point you will, yes. But you know what? I love the TV show Arrow. I've now watched 50 episodes of Arrow. I've sat down on 50 different occasions to watch an Arrow story. Now, granted, it's only 42 minutes as opposed to 90 minutes, but 50 separate times I've sat down and watched an episode of Arrow. 50! I'm not fatigued of it. I'm going to watch it again next week, and I'm going to watch it again the week after that. A lot of people watch like 36 episodes or however many episodes of Games of Thrones there have been at. Right. People watch seasons and seasons of Breaking Bad. Now, some people say, John, television is different than movies. Well, yes, but the core principle is you're sitting down to spend an hour with this story and see where it goes from here. And if Fantastic Four, I keep saying Fantastic Four with Fast and Furious. If Fast and Furious keeps on this trajectory of they keep coming up with interesting things to do, they keep making it fun, and the audience still wants it, keep going, baby. Keep going, Christian.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, of course they want to keep making more of these movies. They're making money there, and they're in a hot streak right now because what they did, you talk about fatigue, they noticed fatigue in the first place. The first 3 movies, after 3, they were like, well, we got to change this up. 4 started that. And then 5 turned into this action kind of bank heist thing, and then 6 was the continuation of that. Let's see where 7 goes. Maybe it's continuation of the storyline that they're going. And if there's a new storyline and a new way that they can take it, the producers and everyone involved so far has been good with that. So I agree with you. If they continue to make it entertaining for us, keep going until you start putting them in space and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? That's when we get in trouble.
Vin Diesel in space.
Yeah.
I would watch that, though.
Yeah, probably.
That'd be like, you know, Fast and the Furious 10 in space.
Right. Hey, guys, I can't even
Diesel's in his car, and it's like he's hooked to the bottom of the space shuttle, and just as they break over it, let it go, throws a switch. Vin Diesel's now in orbit in some
find
muscle
Matthew
car.
McConaughey out there.
They have to land on Mars. It's like a Mars mission. I would see that. Yeah, why stop? It's almost like the James Bond series now. Even though there's no books to adapt, it's sort of like it's got its role going. So yeah, she's like, we could squeeze 3 more out. I'd say you could probably squeeze 30 more out. You know, I mean, it's done the right way, and they bring in new characters and refresh it. You know, maybe Dom goes away for a little while. They bring in Dr. Doom. You know, it's like
They bring in Dr. Doom.
I'm encased in metal. Don't ask me about my origins. Somehow I have electrical powers. Furious 9.
That's right. Yeah, and the fact that they've been able to do those after credit scenes so well. But you know what it is? That's good. It's not a matter of I think just fatigue. It's a matter of fun. When movies stop being fun, that's when you got to stop.
You know what they should do? They should start a new tradition. You know what the last one, the end credit scene was Jason Statham killing off the one character? Every Fast and Furious movie should now end with an end credit scene of one of the other characters getting killed by
Right,
somebody,
totally, right.
and the other guy on the phone. Now I'm coming after you.
It's Liam Neeson on the phone every time.
All right.
Well, actually, was it the fifth or sixth one where The Rock and Dom were like smashing each other through actual buildings?
That was the
walls?
fifth one.
Fifth one. Yeah. See, that's where it became way more of an action.
Right. When they're
style
doing the
series.
safe and all that stuff. Yeah.
A lot of fun.
All right, what's next?
The weekend box office numbers are in, and Harry and Lloyd are kings of the mountain. Dumb and Dumber 2 took the #1 spot, making just over $38 million, with Disney's Big Hero 6 coming in at #2, taking in $36 million. In the third spot is Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, making another $29 million. The Relativity Media film Beyond the Lights comes in at #4, making $6.5 million, and Gone Girl stays in the top 5 for its 7th week, making $4.6 million. Christian, what stands out to you about this weekend's box office results?
Gone Girl. Gone Girl again, just being the fact that it's like that's when a movie is a pure success. When it's a movie that has the Oscar caliber buzz around it. Yeah, it's David Fincher, of course, and Ben Affleck, but it's consistently been in the top 5. It had a couple runs at 1, and it's still there. It's like every time you're saying 1 through 5, you're still saying Gone Girl or whatever number it is. That to me, and I know that everyone's pretty much saying it anyway, but I think that means it's a lock for Best Picture nomination because when a movie with that kind of buzz consistently shows that it's got a mass audience, the Academy pays attention to that stuff too. Don't think that it doesn't. It does. And then the other thing is, I think that everything's somewhat predictable. Like the 1, 2, and 3, and Interstellar making a little bit of a drop. I mean, it's a lot of people saw it, the hardcore people, and then there's a talk. So I think 30 million for a second week is pretty good. So yeah, it's really Gone Girl for me.
Before I mention what stands out to me, Kyle in the live chat porn is saying Furious 10, Aunt May. What stands out to me is actually Dumb and Dumber. I honestly, I didn't think it would take the #1 spot. I thought Big Hero 6 and Interstellar would still finish ahead of it, and it didn't come in #1 by much. I think it came in #1 by $9 million. The difference between third place and first was only $9 million. The other thing, very solid showings for Big Hero 6 and Interstellar. Big Hero 6 only dropped 36%. Interstellar only dropped 38%. Those are pretty decent numbers. Still not as good as what they were hoping for Interstellar. They were hoping to see a less of a drop than that. But still, when you get under a 45% drop, that means people are still wanting to go out and see it. And that's
especially
pretty
for a
damn
3-hour movie.
Especially for a movie that long. So that's actually pretty darn good.
Yeah, and one that's a little divisive among people who are like, hey, this or that. They have varying opinions. I just look at that and I see it's fun to see so much variety. I mean, you have a comedy, you have a kids, young kids adult movie, you have a science fiction film, a love interest story, and like a really harsh thriller, Yeah. I mean, it's great to see all those films. I just saw Dumb and Dumber last night, and I could not stop laughing. I strongly suggest seeing it. It's dumb. It's so dumb and stupid. That's all I cared about. Like, I know a lot of other people said it wasn't that great. I went in with lowered expectations. All I wanted was for it to be incredibly stupid. And it's incredibly successful at being so dumb that my cheeks still hurt. I laughed throughout the entire film. There are so many jokes that don't work for as many that do, but I kept thinking about some of the jokes that do work, and they're so good. Some are so mean, and some are just so visually incredible. I'm not going to ruin anything. If you want something stupid to do tomorrow or for the rest of the week, go see Dumb and Dumber. That's all I can say.
I remember I came out, because I've said, look, I've been looking forward to this movie forever, but it's too long. Trailers aren't any good. I tweeted the moment I came out of Dumb and Dumber. I said, look, I get why a lot of people don't like it. It's only got like a 26, 27% of Rotten Tomatoes, whatever like that. I said, I can totally see why a lot of people don't like it. I'm not going to argue with anybody. But all I can tell you is that it made me laugh. And you know what? It felt a lot like, to me, like the first time I saw the first Dumb and Dumber, I laughed, but not a ton. And then when I watched it again, some of the jokes that didn't work for me the first time, suddenly I found, and every time I've seen the movie since, it gets funnier and funnier to me. I laughed more at Dumb and Dumber 2 the first time more than I did at the first Dumb and Dumber, and I got a feeling I'm going to laugh even more the second time I see it. I thought it has a number of home run moments.
Yes.
I really, really do. That really made me grab my sides and laugh a lot. Is it stupid? Absolutely. Will I argue with somebody who says it's not good? No, that's totally cool. I can see why you didn't. That's cool. But I thought it was hilarious.
We were talking about earlier, Jeff Daniels' parents. Just that scene.
That was just amazing.
I was just laughing just thinking about it.
It reminded me of, what's the Steve Martin movie where he's raised by black
Jerk.
parents?
The Jerk,
The
yeah.
Jerk, where he's played by black
Yes,
parents.
Rob Riggle does an incredible job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good
amazing
in it
in
too. All right, folks, listen. We reached that part of the show for buy or sell. Here's how this works. In front of her, Ashley's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down, and those of us at the table are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Ashley, what do we got?
Rush and Inglourious Basterds actor Daniel Bruhl has been confirmed for a major role in the upcoming Captain America Civil War film. No word has been given about who the actor will portray. Jeanette, buy or sell the addition of Daniel Bruhl to the cast of Captain America 3?
Yeah, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy him as Baron Zemo. I don't know who he's going to play, but I think he'll play a really good villain, and I'd love to see him play. If they're going to introduce another Cap villain, Zemo would be great. Or slap his head into a little like doll character and he's MODOK, just his face. I don't know.
I don't know who he's going to play. I don't care. When you get like award caliber talent like this guy, if you haven't seen Rush, number one, Chris Hemsworth is very, very good in Rush, like awesome. But I think a lot of people don't recognize how awesome Chris Hemsworth was in that film because Daniel was just so damn good as Lauda. I mean, he was incredible in that. And the fact that he's joining this universe, you can make him anything. You can make him the new Black Widow. I'm totally cool with that. Whatever. Somebody, though, tweeted to me an interesting, I can't remember who it was, but somebody tweeted me an interesting concept. I'm not saying I buy into this, but when I think about it, kind of works. New Red Skull?
I was wondering about that this morning when I was reading about it. I was like, could they be replacing him and making him the Red Skull?
How that fits into a Civil War story, I have no idea. No, but I could see him in the makeup and doing that accent. After you see him as Lauda, you could totally see him doing the accent too. I don't know. Anyway, Christian, what do you think about the news?
I buy this more than I could buy anything. I think that this guy I love to see him kind of move now into the commercial stuff as well too, because he's awesome. I mean, he, like you said, Russian. He's gone back and forth with Hemsworth. He's gone back and forth with Cumberbatch in
the Inglourious Basterds.
No. He was in Inglourious Basterds. The thing about the leaks, WikiLeaks.
Yeah, the WikiLeaks movie. But anyway, and so I like to see him maybe interact with both those guys if they ever announce Cumberbatch. But he just got that thing that he's electric. And like you said, Hemsworth's great in Rush, but it's not his movie. It's him. And you watch him, there's just something that a certain actor has when you can't take your eyes off him, and every little syllable they say, you're like, wait, what's that mean? And he's the guy, so I can't wait. He adds a lot to it.
All right, what's next?
It's just been revealed that Summit Pictures will release the upcoming Jason Statham film Mechanic Resurrection on January 22nd, 2016. The film is described like this. Arthur Bishop, played by Statham, returns as a mechanic in the sequel to the 2011 global hit. When someone from his past forces him back into the business, Bishop has to complete an impossible list of assassinations of the most dangerous men in the world. John, buy or sell Mechanic Resurrection?
I sell it, and which is weird because I actually like the first one. I thought the first one was a very nice, totally in Jason Statham's wheelhouse kind of movie. This is a stupid title, but whatever, that's fine. Who cares? It's just a title. The reason I'm going to sell it, though, is because Ben Foster. Ben Foster took a movie that I thought was passable in The Mechanic and made it good. I'm not saying, legendarily good or anything, but Ben Foster is such a great actor, and he played that role so great, played off of Statham so well, and, he's not going to be back for the sequel. And so because of that, I mean, hey, look, we haven't seen a trailer yet, all that kind of stuff, but for now, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah, I didn't see the original The Mechanic, so I don't have an opinion on it. I mean, just the picture alone is like walking away with explosions behind me, I just hear a rap song happening, But yeah, I'm gonna tentatively, I guess I'll buy it. I mean, it's like for me, I could sell it or buy it really, because I haven't seen The Mechanic, but I like Jason Statham in action roles, so any excuse to see him, doing some kind of action stuff, as long as it's not just like snipery. Like he's like killing people from a building far away. As long as he's fighting people, I'm gonna buy it.
Christian?
I'm buying it big, and I'll tell you why. Because I have to see almost everything that comes out. Okay, January is the toilet bowl of movie season.
Yeah.
So is this movie going to be good? No. It might be, and it could be horrible, and it's probably going to be horrible. But I can't wait to see just kicking in the face in January because I'm going to have to see as many bad horror movies are out there. I'm going to have to see some cruddy, fantasy movie that they were supposed to put in July, but it turned out to be horrible. That'll land in January. So let me see Jason Statham just kick people in the face in January. Please.
I can just see right now Christian Harloff's review will be quoted on the poster of The Mechanic 2. So much kicking in the face. Hashtag Christian Harloff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, we reached that part of the show for mailbag. Listen, if you've got a comment or a question you'd like addressed on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Send your questions on in, and maybe you'll see it on the show. And listen, if you're watching us live, we're going to save a couple of minutes at the end of the show to take some of your live Twitter questions. So hop on Twitter right now and tweet to us at AMC Movie News, and Ashley will pick out a couple at the end of the show. But for now, let's get to the mailbag. So Ashley, what do we got?
Kevin Argent writes, "Greetings AMC crew, I am a huge fan of the Stargate franchise. I was wondering if there is any news for the new Stargate reboot. Thanks, and bring on the filthy."
Yeah, I think it was back in April. They announced that Roland Emmerich is coming back. Now, the studios are behind it, and they're actually looking at a new trilogy. They specifically said, I mean, they're not just thinking, they're thinking big with this. At least this is the word back in April. And they said, we're actually going to go with a full 3 film. Emmerich said, I've always wanted to revisit this world. It's kind of interesting that it's Emmerich himself that's going to do it. And my understanding is that it's going to be a reboot. Now, I haven't heard anything about it since, but that's not surprising. It's probably still just in development at this point. I don't expect that we'll hear anything about announcements or whatever until probably for maybe another 6 months to a year. But as far as I know, it's coming. Have you guys heard anything different?
No.
What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think for me, it's, you saying that Emmerich's going to get a trilogy always scares me. Like, Emmerich movies, and I'll admit, they're total guilty movie pleasures for me. Like, I can, even 2012.
Really? Even 2012?
It's horrible. It's horrible, but I really enjoy it. It was like really a bad, like, Universal Studios ride that I just went on.
Plane
like,
just barely survived.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll go on it again. It's
car jumping.
terrible, but to him to have a trilogy, that's asking a lot for anybody, even someone who likes, the Stargate franchise, which I actually liked the first one. I thought the first one was fun. I wonder if Kurt Russell will come back. That's it.
I say Jeff Goldblum comes through the Stargate with like that little, I've saved the aliens. It's like ID4 and Stargate. He should just melt. He should make all 3 at the same time. If he's going to make Stargate 1, 2, and 3, they should just do it all at once.
Connected universe. Everybody's doing it, man.
I think it's going to happen eventually, as opposed to this is something that Emmerich's talked about for like 20 years. Even when the series was on, he was like, well, I still have my Stargate story. He was like kind of butthurt about the Stargate series,
and
the
I
TV
actually like
series.
the series. I thought the TV
yeah, I mean,
series
there's so many different iterations. It went through a whole bunch of different. I mean, didn't it end with Robert Carlyle?
Well, I mean, there were like 3 different Stargate shows.
Okay.
You had
Momoa
Stargate
was in it,
SJ1. You had Stargate Atlantis, which is where Jason Momoa got to start, and then you had Stargate. I can't remember what the name of the last one was. The one with Robert Carlyle.
Train Spotting.
Stargate Train Spotting. All right, what's next?
Waved Lemon writes, I was wondering on Sunday's mailbag, John was saying the potential Best Picture nominees. I was wondering if The Hobbit has a chance. If it's as good as any of the LOTR trilogy, I think it deserves a spot. So if The Hobbit is really good, do you think it can get a spot?
Well, that's a huge what if and maybes. I mean, we haven't seen The Hobbit, so we should. Okay, look. If the 3rd and final Hobbit film is as good as Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, then yes, it deserves a spot. But that's a huge if. We have no idea. Look, I am a fan of the first 2 Hobbit films. I know some people have some criticism about them, less so of the second one. I think more people like the second one than the first. I really like the first one too. I really like the second. But I also had no problem and no issue with the fact that they didn't get nominated for Best Picture at the same time. But I still really enjoyed them. I don't need this to be Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I'm already a fan of the franchise. But the giant if it's as good as Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, which we have no reason to believe that it will or that it won't, then sure. But once again, a huge speculation at this point because I haven't seen the film. I don't personally know anybody that's seen the film yet. So anyway, what do you guys think?
I don't know. I don't think it's got a chance, only because even if it's great, it's just because when the first 2 Lord of the Rings movies came out, there was all when the Fellowship came out, people were talking Oscars and stuff too, and it had a buzz within the film fan community, the movie community itself, and this seems more commercial, which is fine. I agree with you. The first one was fine. The second one I really enjoyed. It has a different tone than the other ones did, like those Oscar caliber films, and I just think because it's fighting too hard of a fight right now to get itself noticed as a Best Picture candidate.
Schnepp?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, It could or couldn't. It depends. We all have to see the movie. So right now it's like a weird conjecture question.
Yeah.
If it's good, should it win? That's two
Well,
totally
if
different.
Mechanic Resurrection is as good as Django Unchained,
Right.
do you think it'll get a nomination spot? Sure, but
Right.
we just simply
But
don't
wouldn't
know.
there be buzz about it though too from somewhere? Because even like these smaller movies, like movies that are coming out like now had the Oscar buzz months ago. Like, and it always happens. Even when Return of the King back in the day, people were talking about it. You could see if this third movie could gear up Oscar buzz and Best Picture.
It's funny you bring that up. A lot of the Lord of the Ring people that I know are talking about this movie as a return to the Return of the King type of.
It looks like it in the trailer for
Yeah,
sure.
it's got that flavor to it. But
See,
that doesn't mean Oscar.
Yeah, I would give it an Academy Award nomination just for that picture. Like, seriously, how
Yeah.
badass
It's very
is
badass.
that picture? That's
awesome.
incredible. All right, what's next?
Andrew Cole writes, "Hello, AMC Movie Talk crew. I'm a longtime listener, and on Friday's episode of Movie Talk, I was thrilled to hear that Birdman was getting a wider release. I went to check it out because I heard nothing but praise from you, and oh my goodness, that movie was awesome on so many levels. My question is, do you all plan on doing a spoilers review now that it has a wider release? Thanks, and the filth has been brought."
That's a
You
shame.
know, I'm sorry, I'll get to that in just a second. I'm just keeping I always keep half my eye on the chat board as we're doing the show live, and the Aunt May-isms have been going crazy. I'm only catching a couple of them. Avengers, The Age of Aunt May, where the desolation of Aunt May, Aunt May the Fourth be with you. I
Why
love
don't you
good
be
ones.
Uncle Ben, the Revenge of Ant-Man?
Birdman. You've heard us talk about Birdman on this show. To a man, we love Birdman. This movie is awesome, and you need to see it. And I love hearing people say, "Hey, we heard you talk about it, so we went to go see it, and it's incredible." Blah blah. You're not going to see us do a spoilers review of it, simply because you got to remember we go into this every once in a while. The whole nature of our spoiler reviews is our reviews are for people who have already seen the movie. And since Birdman is a very small release and not a lot of people have seen it, then we would be making a review for a very small number of people who could even possibly watch it. And so it's not about, is Birdman good enough to get a review from us? Absolutely, it's good enough to get a review from us. But I just don't think enough people have seen it to warrant us pulling the crew together and doing a spoiler review for it, because just not enough people have seen it. But if it was just based on the quality of the movie, I would be talking about Birdman all day. I mean, not just because it's a great movie, which I believe should get nominated for Best Picture. Michael Keaton is a lock for nominations Best Actor. I think Edward Norton, if he doesn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, I'll have a problem with that because he is really, really good. You could even see an actress nomination or two. I don't know. It's just
Emma Stone is incredible.
Emma Stone's really good in it. I mean, it's such a great cast, great film, keeps you riveted the whole way. You know who totally gets? Zach Galifianakis.
Amazing.
Great in that movie.
Is so good in this movie.
Yeah.
Different.
And, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's so. Anyway, your thoughts, guys? I don't know what we can add to that.
I mean, yeah, no, I think you hit it on the head.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's no reason to do spoilers. All you should be doing is purchasing your tickets and going to see it immediately. Now that it opened wide, I'm taking my whole crew, my Death of Superman crew. We're going to see it tonight.
It's
Because
awesome.
it's only been playing in Century City, and now it's like actually at the 16.
Burbank 16
So
and-
go see it if you get the chance to see it in the big screen. It's incredible cinematography. It's amazingly well directed. Like John was saying, Oscar nomination performances by everyone. It's very much a topical film because it's about these bloated superhero films and also the actors who therein play them and what are they left with doing, and it's very psychological. It's incredible. Go see it. I don't know what else to say.
All right, well, folks, I said we'd leave a couple minutes for your live questions. We're going to do that right now. So hop on Twitter, tweet to us at AMC Movie News. Ashley is the one making all the choices over here. So, Ashley, what have you picked out?
Jack Cousins writes, "You talked about fatigue earlier. How has James Bond managed to avoid this?"
Well, exactly what we were talking about earlier. They're keeping it fresh. It doesn't come out every year, but like I said before, if you can keep it fresh and all that kind of stuff, you're golden. You have this character, James Bond, and they've been able to change the actors 5 times. They've changed actors, 6 total. Is that
I think
what
it's
it is?
6, yeah.
So 5 changes, 6 total actors. And so they've just been, and they've adapted with the era that they're in. Each new decade is a new kind of different flavor to it. And they keep mixing it up. Plus, when you last that long, now you start bringing in new audiences. all the time. And it's like, look, if I can watch, like I said before, if I can watch Supernatural every single week, then I can watch a James Bond movie once every 2 or 3 years, as long as they keep it good.
Well, it's also just like any spy movie. It's assembling a good team.
Yeah,
And they assemble a good team, and they know what the Bond franchise means to fans. And as the Pierce Brosnan one started to get a bit silly, they went, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not ruin the franchise now. And they pulled back, and now they have this kind of more serious, almost like Bourne Identity type Bond that is changing into the Bond that we know. And it's fun to watch that arc. And that's what we're all paying attention to right now. And then eventually we'll have a new arc because they know what fans like. And as, like you said, as generations, there's a kid out there right now who's 8, 10 years old, never seen a Bond film in his life, and will become the biggest James Bond fan out there. Right. And that's what that character does.
Yeah, and I specifically is like it's the Doctor Who regeneration type thing. It's
right.
Like,
yeah.
It literally is. There's a brand new Bond, and you're hoping. When I saw Casino Royale, we don't know about Daniel Craig. Bam, that's the new Bond. Right. He sealed it with that film. Quantum of Solace, not so great. What was the other one? Skyfall.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like the 4th version of his incarnation as James Bond. I'm hoping we get a 4th and a 5th one. And then we're pretty sure we're going to get a new James Bond to refresh the franchise. Where's it going to go? How are they going to redo it? But it's basically, you have this iconic character now, just like Superman or Batman. You have a character that is then, another actor takes over and the entire ensemble team gives a reboot to it, just like Ben Affleck is rebooting Batman. So, I mean, it can go on and on and on, just like Fast and Furious. At some point, if they want to go back to 1, they're going to have to 10's it, then we're going back. We're going to refresh the whole thing.
I think Idris Elba is going to become the next Bond.
Who?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. That's a good choice.
Well, I still think we're like 5, 6 years away from the next Bond. All right, what is next?
Matt Poshedly writes, do you think The Rock will ever host the Oscars?
No. But I've never even considered the possibility.
Never say never.
What I mean, but how? Okay, think about this for a second. How awesome would it be, were The Rock to host the Oscars and come out and in the opening monologue, Ricky Gervais. Look, we're all huge Ricky Gervais fans. I love Ricky Gervais, but I wasn't a huge fan of him as a host of like the Golden Globes because I just found he wasn't able to find that balance about how to poke fun and roast the guests without it feeling awkward and actually offensive a little bit. And that takes a lot of skill. It's a very, very fine line. But could you imagine The Rock coming out and the opening of the Oscar ceremony and spend 10 minutes smack talking the different people in the audience, you Rudy Poo Candy, like whatever, talking about the different people in the audience? I would be in my glory.
You would, but
I would, but not many other people.
And I would too. But remember the audience of the Oscars, and the Golden Globes is one thing. The Oscars it's an older audience too. It is, and I think for me, I'm a little old school. I like having comedians do it. I think that Tina Fey and
Amy
Poehler have been great at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, so along those lines, people of that. Billy Crystal for a long time was great. Steve Martin. They tried actors before, and I know that James Franco, The Rock, 2 different things here. But The Rock is not a host. He'd be fun, but for 3 hours, that's tough, man.
Imagine him above the audience in his Tooth Fairy outfit, singing a song.
Right.
I mean, hey.
And the nominees are.
Or you could have the tuxedo and just rip it off, and then have like
it.
a wrestling outfit on. I mean,
he closed eyes into the person he doesn't think should have won the award.
If he's not the host, he should be at least in a segment. I'd say that would be amazing.
That'd be fun.
Or present something. That would be fun. So no, if I was the producer of the Oscars, I would not have him host the Oscars. But there's that little bit of fanboy in me. It's like, how fun would that be? All right, what's next?
Chris Marabella writes, after 3 flops, do you think Robert Rodriguez's career is over?
Funny, we were just talking about that.
Crazy. Are they listening in?
Yeah, seriously.
What are the 3? I mean, we got Sin City,
Machete
we got
Kills.
Machete. What was the third one?
There's another B movie type thing. Whatever.
But anyway, the status right now of Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that. We were like, has he done a non-Grindhouse, non-schlocky B movie ever? And we were saying, well, Sin City. And I was like, well, Sin City also had Frank Miller and all that amazing graphic novel flavor put in. He basically had living storyboards and Frank Miller to work with to make the first Sin City. The second Sin City, I still contend A Dame to Kill For. Just the middle segment of A Dame to Kill For is a masterpiece, and the outer two segments are garbage. So it's sort of like, it's horrible for me to like, I would hope that Robert Rodriguez puts out like how he did the Sin City box set, where he did each one individually, so I could at least enjoy A Dame to Kill For, which is one of my favorite Frank Miller graphic novels of that whole Sin City run. And it's really well done. So it's a shame that it's wrapped around with these weaker segments.
Yeah.
But Rodriguez as a whole, he's really got to step up. He might be just as happy, he's doing his Dusk Till Dawn TV series. He's probably got 5 or 6 other kind of schlocky films that he's doing at his own studio that he can do. He's like, hey, I don't have any studios to tell me what to do. I make what I want. But that his films are bombing right now, and people are basically saying,
Spy Kids all the time in the world in 4D.
okay, that the movies like Machete, I loved. Machete Kills is actually a completely different film tonally, and I could barely stand watching it. I
couldn't stand the
it's
first one
horrible.
either.
Yeah.
No, I
couldn't
like
stand
the first one. Though.
I like the first 5 minutes of the first one, and
was
then
it.
it completely lost me.
The problem with Rodriguez for me too is, what Tarantino does so well, his buddy does so well, is that Tarantino will take like that old school kind of like with martial arts films and movies that he was influenced by, some B movies too, and he infuses them in his movies, which are not B movies,
Right.
But they have that feel of
Yeah.
stuff, and he transforms them, and he adds his own style to it. Where Rodriguez is just trying to give us back the B movie, and we don't want it. We don't want the B movie anymore, and it doesn't even really feel like a legit B movie. It feels like a rehashed B movie, like the Machete Kills and stuff of that nature. For me, Sin City too, I actually dug it. I can't think I'm the only person. I'm the person who liked it. But
Sin City, the first one?
the second one.
Oh,
The second. I actually dug it. But it's just there's something with him. I want to see him do a better film, like a real film.
The thing is, with this streak of box office flops, whether you liked them or didn't like them, it is going to make studios a lot more trigger shy about handing him a real movie,
Right.
Per se. It's going to be more difficult now for him. He's going to have to take a smaller budget film and do something real special with it, I think, to get the confidence of people who finance these films back into his corner, because right now it's not looking so great.
Well, it goes back to our Fast and Furious conversation before. His movies like Desperado and everything, they cease to be fun now. They used Desperado was fun.
Yeah.
These aren't
Yeah.
fun anymore.
Well,
the first
Planet
Machete, I thought
Terror,
was.
Planet Terror was the last one for me that was actually really fun.
I agree. Yeah. Who would have thought going into Grindhouse that I would have preferred the Robert Rodriguez half of it over the Quentin Tarantino half of it? Never. But we see who the better director is out of that. All right, time for one last question today.
Tufik Farali writes, do you think the first TMNT live action movie still holds up? I personally think it crushes the latest Michael Bay iteration.
No, not me. I know it's fun to say the first one was great. I know it's this nostalgic to say that the first one was great. I never liked the first one. I've never thought that live action iteration was any good, despite all the fond memories of when we came from it. And I know I'm in the minority, and that's cool, but I gotta give my honest opinion. I don't think it stands up because I think it never was. I mean, that's just and I actually liked the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I thought it would be crap. I talked garbage on that movie, and then it came out, I'm like, you know what? That was actually kind of fun. So I actually think the new Michael Bay one, remember, Michael Bay did not direct this one. He is the producer of it, though, but I actually think this new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is better than the originals. I don't know.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy!
Says the guy wearing green.
It's true. I really loved the first. I watched it to see if it held up, and I don't know if it's just my memories telling me that it did, but I thought it did, and I thought the characters were handled a lot better in that one, and I thought that it was just the development. Although, as Mark Ellis would say as well too, the hotter April O'Neil is clearly in the new one, Judith Hogue. But other than that, I love the first one. It's nostalgic, whatever.
Yeah, I'm with Campia.
Yeah,
So unfortunately, like the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is not like the first Batman.
Right.
The first Batman, I could watch it,
Tomorrow,
and
yeah.
and I still love it. There's weird parts with too much Prince music, and why is the Joker going to be mayor? Stuff like that irritates me. But I can just overlook all that for just the amazing cinematography, the design, the darkness that pretty much jump-started where we are now with superhero movies. So not just darkness, but just superheroes taken as an adult theme as opposed to for children.
I got one thing to say.
what's that?
T-U-R-T-L-E, power. Come on, that's the song. That song
Look,
alone.
I actually enjoyed the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I, like you, was like, I don't even want to see it. And then it was like just like a fluke afternoon. I was like, I guess I'll see it, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say.
Hey, folks, before we sign off, I'm going to let you know, look, obviously this week, the big, probably it's going to be the #1 box office film of the year. Hunger Games is opening up this week. Ashley Mova is actually going to be going, and she is covering the LA premiere of that tonight. I am actually going and attending the premiere tonight. So, and we are both on our AMC Movie News Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you do. Just find us AMC Movie News. That's our handle on Instagram. Follow us there. Ashley's going to be taking a bunch of pictures from the carpet. I'm going to be taking a bunch of pictures from both the carpet and the after party. I went to the Hunger Games after party last year. Best after party of the year, and I cannot wait to see what they do in this one. So make sure you're following us on Instagram tonight and catch all these pictures from the LA premiere of Hunger Games. What's it called? Mockingjay Part 1 tonight. So, and by the way, Ashley, you're rocking like the hot girl geeky glasses thing.
Thanks. I'm channeling my Mockingjay colors with this red lip, though, so that's what I was representing today.
All right, folks, listen, that'll do it for us for this episode of AMC Movie Talk. Hey, don't forget, I am participating in No Shave November to raise money for the American Cancer Association. Cancer is something that's affected all of us, either in our families or people we know. So please make sure you look in the description of this video and you'll find a link where you can donate to the American Cancer Society as we continue to grow the stuff on our face. Don't forget, folks, lots of great films playing in AMC theaters right now. Head on over to www.amctheaters.com for all your theater, showtime, and of course, your movie ticket information. If you want an audio-only version of this episode, look in the description of this video and you'll find links to our podcast feed so you can listen to us on the way to work or at the gym. And don't forget to click the thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to thank, first of all, the guy sitting at the table with me, sitting right here, Mr. Christian Harloff. Christian, where can people find you online?
Well, first you can find me on Twitter, Christian Harloff, or you can find me on Instagram, probably taking pictures of myself watching the 1990 version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mr. John Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter and Instagram, John Schnepp, and at TDOSLWH. And I just want to thank Middle of Beyond for making the greatest Sasquatch sweater I've ever owned in my life. Thank you.
And of course, our lovely host, Miss Ashley Mova. Ashley, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram, at Ashley Mova. Happy Monday, guys.
And you can find me on all the various social media networks at John Campia, and follow us on Instagram tonight, AMC Movie News. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name is John Campia for AMC Movie News, and until next time, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.